Hawaiian style band. We recorded this song goes like this.
Celebration on the palace ground. People need to know what's going down. There's a proclamation from the powers that lead. Our island nation has got to be free. Oh, oh, oh. Living in a sovereign land. Island people come together as one for future generations under the sun, singing songs of freedom, singing songs of love. Living in a sovereign land. Our children deserve to know what went down 100 years ago. You can be the man, you can take the land, but you can't take the truth away. Oh, 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 Lord, living in a sovereign land. Oh, 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 Lord, living in a sovereign land. Our children deserve to know what went down 100 years ago. You can be a man, you can take the land, but you can't take the truth away. Oh, 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 Lord, living in a sovereign land. Oh, 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 Lord, living in a sovereign land. Tell me that's your sugar time. Living in a sovereign land. Living in a sovereign land. Brothers and Kita, on yellow and white. Time to do what you know is right. What's been taken must be returned. Give our children what they deserve. Oh, living in a sovereign land. Oh, Lord, living in a sovereign land. Our children deserve to.
Aloha kakahiaka e nā hoa aloha e nā o ke ia pai aina o ko Hawaii pai aina. Aloha e ka mo I mano kalani pō o Kauai. Aloha e pele I holani ke ali'i nui o Oahu. Aloha e ke kaulike ke ali'i nui o Maui. Aloha kākou e ke ave I ke kahi ali'i o ka moku ke ali'i nui o Hawaii. Aloha e nā po'e aloha aina apa. Welcome to 45,212 days of illegal occupation, 127 years of continued injustice, war crimes, genocide, attacking Hawaiians daily. Now to the national crisis with the weather.
Aloha kākou, another episode of Darkside of Hawaiian Politics, Hawaiian Kingdom News. Weather for today, out in your north, your highs today is low 81 high, low 79. Your east, high 82, lows 80. Down your south, your highs today is 81, lows 80. And your west with the highs at 86, lows 81. Enalu surf report, Mokeave, your north 2 to 3, occasional. East, small 1 to 2. South, 2 to 3. And your west, 2 to 3. Enjoy your beach today. Nice fun waves. exercise your social distancing. And that is your weather for this week, Dark Side of Hawaiian Politics. Now for the Mana Olelo, DJ Derbs.
Aloha kakahiaka kako o ka mana o lelo o ke ia la, ka la iulai e ha, oia no, ka hua o lelo o republic. So when did this word become famous? As you type it in, vehevehe.org, republic translates to Aupuni Pele Kikena, Le Pupalika. But I always remember reading newspapers, it was Republika. So when you look up republic also, vehevehe, it says Central African, Republika Apelika Waina, Democratic of the Congo. Amazing what these words mean. But when you type it in to look for Republika Iulai Eha, there was over 1,000 hits, but I was looking for a specific day. And that day was July 4th, 1894. That changed all of our lives forever. Well, hopefully not forever, Kako. We got to work towards justice, right? So when you look into Ka'oya I'o, volume Ehiku, November 23rd, 1894, the article starts off with Ka Presidena Mua o Hawaii, and it says, O Sanford B. Kole, Ka Presidena Mua o ke kulana aupuni noho manava. It says noho manava. I gotta say noho heva. Iloko o umikumalima mahina ihala. Mai iulai eha umikumawalu kanaiwa kumamaha. Mai ahiki i keia la he Presidena oia malalo o ke kumu kanawai o ke aupuni Republika. I kukala ia Mayulai Eha 1894. So kako, today is the day the Supreme Court Justice of the Hawaiian Kingdom who committed treason is the founding of the current government that's in operation attacking us today. So you guys want to say there's no discrimination, no racism? Look at the history, kako, of today, July 4th, 1894, in the Hawaiian Kingdom, and Nana Ike Kumu. Look to the source of the Pilikia. We need to resolve the source of the Pilikia kako. So today's Mana Olelo is Iulai Eha Republika kako.
There it is, kako. Republika, 1894, July 4th, Mana Olelo, with a little bit more context of today and the historical context that we continue to live under. DJ Derbs, you know, mahalo for always bringing the Mana Olelo and breathing life back into it. And without further ado, let's breathe life back into the corruption, DJ Derbs. So, who's first on the chopping block this week for July 4th, Republika?
On July 4th, Republika, I gotta go with our friends in the Department of Hawaiian Homeless. So after 100 years of failing, they waited for 100 years of failing in the 1920 Hawaiian Homes Commission Act, where the court now rules in favor of beneficiaries that hasn't been serviced by the 100-year failure. So for me, the apology bill, Public Law 103-150, already apologized. This seems like another apology, but where is the resources? Where is the reparations? Where is the restitution to follow up with this? Because we're 127 years and nothing. And right now they want to calculate. I have an accountant. I can calculate. Let me calculate. Here's the solution. Give DJ Derbs and an accountant. I can calculate the numbers. It comes out to 19 trillion, kako.
19 trillion, DJ Derbs. You hear that, kako? So if you guys are out there, just like how DJ Derbs said, this should be some news for good news, right? Right. So KP, you've been around a long time. What do you figure about this court ruling?
This court ruling is nothing more than on paper tiger.
Ah, there it is.
Simply because Okay, we're in the 127th year of U.S. occupation. The Department of Hawaiian Homelands is 100 years.
100 years.
And it continued to fail our people. And even with this ruling, you know, what is the end result? Are they going to enforce the ruling, or it's just going to be this ruling is just going to be put on the shelf, collecting dust?
Political year voting.
Right. So it's only grandstanding, without any a ramification or justification for our people, in the Hawaiian Islands. So let's see if they're gonna actually do something about it. So like the old saying goes, you gotta talk your walk, not just talk.
So what you figure? Is it we giving passes today? We giving a?
Well, for me, I'm gonna give them a collusion, because it boils down to Department of Hawaiian Homeland, which is a puppet of the state of Hawaii, which is a puppet of the United States government. So they're all conspiring to actually suppress our people.
Homework. What do you grade this? Court ruled.
Shucks. Well, let's take a little look at the facts there, right? Took over 20 years for them to render this decision. Kind of like all these other cases, right, that go to the Supreme Court, the state Supreme Court. Has to go all the way up every step, and it takes decades just to render what should be already happening, right? That you guys need to fund us sufficiently. They need to fund the Hawaiian Homes program sufficiently. So it looks like a victory, and mahalo nui to the petitioners in this one, Auntie, who is it, Leona?
Yes.
And the Ohanas out there. It's like a class action lawsuit, right? But again, I have to point at the Nelson case and some of these previous cases that have already set precedences. We're still waiting for the state to adequately fund the Hawaiian Homes Commission Act. And until it does it, the state is operating on fraudulent terms. So I gotta smash the state for that one, because I'm sure they're gonna try it at the federal level again, right? Supreme Court, waste more time. How many more Kanaka gonna die waiting for justice, for just what's owed, what you guys already admitted and figured out, right, in Senate? But I gotta give a pass to the Kanakas on the list. 27,000 beneficiaries. Auntie Leona, and all the warriors out there, all the next generation. You guys watch, pay attention. It takes years, it takes generations in order to make progress in the fake state. So that's why we got to hold the hard line and smash these buggers.
So courts ruled. This is for all you Kanaka out there that know that the injustice had been wrong for so long, and to have this another breadcrumb to lead us on to say that, hey, come on, the court had ruled. There is no need. There is no need to tell us about the genocide that has been taking place. And when you look at this, 2,721 beneficiaries who could have suffered losses, my concern is, where are the rest of our beneficiaries that have passed away that has not been accounted for? There's thousands, tens upon thousands of family members who have passed without due process. And now the department, because of a class action lawsuit that we know that our family has been struggling with for it's going to be over 100 years, they have still yet to see that they have a problem. And Bill Aimalaya and the Department of Homeless Hawaiians, before every meeting shall start, you guys shall say how sorry and how immense pain that we have felt for being trampled on for many years. And these people must acknowledge us before we even start the meetings to say that they're sorry, because they seem to just carry on these meetings as if we are here for X amount of years and they don't even know that we are not going to get awarded. They already know these things. So with that being said, the courts ruled. We should look at it take it with a grain of salt, because it's not the first time a Hawaiian was right about genocide, and this is surely not the last time. But once again, we mahalo the Kalima case, the Nelson case, all of these cases that came up before the court, and where the court continued to fail us. And this, we must smash on DHHL, because they are telling us what we already know, and they continuously not award no Hawaiian homes, and they continuously harass Ikaika Marzo for cleaning up Maku'u Homestead with the grace and the concerns of the community.
Real community solutions, right?
The DHHO people have continued to suppress our communities in our efforts to self-determination, and that's why we continue to smash. DJ Derbs, next up on the chopping block.
Star Advertiser, July 4th. Hawaii officials warn organizers of July 4th flotilla off East Oahu to cancel or face arrest. So, Kako, you see how the Star Advertiser removes what the real source of the largest problem in Hawaii is, which is the illegal occupation of the Hawaiian Kingdom, is about Sanford B. Dole committing treason on this very day, July 4th, 1894. If you guys want to march for something, Kako, today is the day to march against injustice, against institutional discrimination, institutional racism, incarceration, everything, Kako. Today is the day to ku'e the foundation of the current government today, which comes from Republika o Hawaii on July 4th, 1894, Kako. So I just gotta give the Star Advertiser a big fat smash for continuing to lie and take the focus off the injustice. And I gotta give the lifeguards a pass for getting these party goers and COVID-19 spreaders, off to stop spreading COVID-19. So pass for my lifeguards out there.
KP, what you think about this floating Opala?
Okay, first of all, the Star Advertiser is nothing more than a mouthpiece for the insurgents and also for the fake state. You know, they're just kind of like blowing smoke and mirror and actually trying to cover up the real problem in Hawaii, and that's the 127 years of U.S. occupation. And so they try to do stuff like that just to, try to cover up, the occupation. And our people know, better, because if you celebrate July 4th, you're actually continuing to support the insurgency. You continue to support the U.S. occupation. What you need to do is support Hawaiian, injustice. You need to get out there and voice your
awareness.
and spread the word about the the occupation. Because right now, a lot of people going out there celebrating July 4th, and some of them it's like sheep. They're just going out and celebrate, and they don't even know the history of Hawaii, and they're going out there and celebrating something that is actually is illegal in Hawaii, and it's an occupation. So I give the Star Advertiser a smash because they continue to spread lies, and they continue to actually support the illegal U.S. occupation in Hawaii.
Homework. What you scale this kind of greeting for this flotilla?
Shoot, man. I mean, another one of these, puffed up, fake plastic events. That's, all over our most beautiful resources, beaches, Aina. And so to me, this is just the status quo, right? Like, this happens every 4th of July. This happens every fake state holiday. So this is just another product of Americanization. And really, I want to point out the fact that the biggest issue that we have with America, I think, besides the ongoing genocidal system and forced occupation and indoctrination and everything, is the sheer amount of trash and opala and waste that we are left with on our aina. Yeah, it's not so bad that they come over here, freaking 10 million of these buggers coming back and forth, right? But they bring all their opala, all their waste, and the fake state of Hawaii has been so incompetent in cleaning up opala. Just take a look at Hawaiian homelands over here. Just go take a look at the unlined landfills. So that's number one priority for the fake state. Clean up your mess.
Yes.
Yeah. Another perfect example. This is how you guys celebrate, is making big messes. So
Yes.
I gotta smash you guys, and I gotta point to the illusion or the collusion amongst the media and the propaganda and the fake state's narrative of be afraid, right? Be afraid, but continue on like everything's normal. We gotta end that.
Oh, man. The star colonizing reports. The star colonizer.
Nice.
Right? The star colonizer always seems to. Right now is COVID-19, Kako. If you guys still remember, we're still in a pandemic where all these tourists can come, but you must stay at home. Remember that, right? They may come, but you must stay at home. So this flotilla, 2017, at least 10 serious alcohol-related injuries, estimated 8,000 to 10,000 participants in this floating Opala event. And this, during COVID-19, should tell you something, Kako. Governor Ige does not care about the local families and the Hawaiian nationals that live here and call this island home.
That's for
Because if they're going to allow numerous amounts of flights to land since the time of COVID, we have not even lifted all of our phases yet. I don't even know what phase we in. What BS phase we in right now. These guys are just adding on phases, adding on different layers of lies that we don't even know when this COVID-19 is supposed to subside and people are allowed to go about in their daily lives. But yet we have this flotilla in the reference of Republika, 1894, July 4th.
Right.
So, once again, DJ Derbs, mahalo for bringing that up and bringing it to a present context. That this date in 1894 is still a reflection of colonialism due to the fact that we cannot even leave our homes to do simple gatherings. But they're going to allow 8 to 10,000, and this is in 2017, Kako. The guesstimation. I wouldn't want to say estimation. I'd want to say a guesstimation. And so hopefully we see 8 to 10,000 tickets this week, right, Kako? Hopefully we see 8 to 10,000 sightings today, just like how they did up Mauna Kea a few months ago when they sat on side of the road and waiting for all of our kupunas to pass and ticketed them. So now when we see this July 4th flotilla, we demand DLNR to start exercising that index and thumb and start writing that 8 to 10,000 citations or whatever you have made today. We want to see this kind of stats with citations due to this flotilla if it goes down to there. And for that being said, this is one hell of a collusion, Kako. This is one hell of a collusion. DLNR, Suzanne Case, State of Hawaii, senators, you guys are going to allow this during COVID-19 time? This has to be the biggest collusion yet to have today for the Dark Side of Hawaiian Politics, July 4th, Republika, American Genocide. Now, KP, for your COVID-19 update and South Pacific community news. KP.
All right. This is the latest update for July 4th. As we look at the stats for the South Pacific, we're looking at Aotearoa. So Aotearoa, they're actually COVID-19 free. So the total was 1,702, and it's really great news. So I'm just going to go briefly over the other island nations. As you can see. American Samoa, they have 0 cases. The Cook Islands, they have 0 cases. Fiji, they stabilized at 18. The only concern is with Guam. They have a spike in the last several days. As you look at the Hawaiian Kingdom, we are actually close. Actually, we are at 975 cases, and that is really alarming. It's just yesterday we had a total number of 29 cases and 1 death. So that's really concerning with the numbers, yeah. And another place of concern is with the Northern Mariana Islands. They also have a spike in the islands. So, the rest of the island nations, they're stabilized, and it's really good news. All right. So as we go to other news, we have today actually coming out of the Cook Islands, the Parliament wants to actually put a censor on the Cook Island news. They want to ban the Cook Island news from actually covering any political discussions, and that's totally wrong for the people. That you cannot actually get information from the government, and that's
illegal.
It's really illegal on that case right there. So we're just gonna be watching closely of
KP, just like you said, the Fijian news, right? Media, just like in COVID-19, is essential.
Right.
Right, KP?
Yes.
So thank you for reporting on that, because we need to support all media outlets that are coming from our Indigenous Aboriginal family members.
Right.
If they are the ones putting out this media, we have an obligation to kako'o and make sure that it's successful, and if not, it makes it onto as many news stations as we can.
Oh, yes.
Because once the government starts cracking down on media, we're in deep trouble, KP.
Right. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. And out of New Zealand, as I said earlier, the COVID-19 update, no new cases, for the 4th day in a week. So it's really good for our brothers and sisters in Aotearoa. And the last topic that I have is also what I reported earlier with the stats, is that Northern Marianas and Guam record new COVID-19 cases. Okay, so if you look at Northern Marianas, they have a total of 31, active cases, which is, it's alarming, but it's, really, it's small compared to the, Hawaiian Kingdom or Aotearoa, because, we're actually, almost at the 1,000 mark, as well as Aotearoa was roughly about 1,300, but they're COVID-19 free. So that's really good news about that situation. And with that, that's the the South Pacific Island news. Mahalo.
Mahalo, KP, for the COVID-19 and South Pacific community update every week on the Dark Side of Hawaiian Politics, where we just mahalo you, KP, for following and tracking our COVID and showing the scales every week. Mahalo. And DJ Derbs, now let's wrap up this bad boy. What is the next one that needs to be exposed?
The next one, Kako. HSTA expresses dissatisfaction with social distancing guidelines set forth by DOE. The Hawaii State Teachers Association expressed dissatisfaction with the social distancing. Kako, I cannot believe America is now at the top of having record numbers of COVID-19 every single day, in the thousands, in the tens of thousands, and it seems like the HSTA bowed down to the state of Hawaii and wants to reopen all of the schools And all I can say is if a teacher dies, what's the workman compensation on that?
Right.
If a student dies, what's the child's compensation on that? While all of the other countries are closing, all of the other countries are not allowing Americans into their borders, it seems like they have open access to the Hawaiian Kingdom and Hawaii's borders,
At will.
where tourism can come just freely. 72 hours. What happened to the 2 weeks of quarantine? Now it's just 72 hours of testing. I just gotta give the state a big fat smash and the HSTA a big fat collusion for not standing up for the rights of the teachers in implementing social distancing or online education moving forward, Kako.
Cornerstone, enlighten the Hawaii.
Well, first of all, if you look at the HTSA, you know, and they're actually compromising with the state of Hawaii, it's ridiculous because, you know, we're supposed to be, you know, social distancing, supposed to be 6 feet apart.
6.
Now they're saying it's 3 feet apart.
Wow.
So, you know, they're going actually backwards. And if you look at America, you know, make America great again. You know, they are actually great, number one, because just yesterday in the United States, they had 52,000
Wow.
new cases. 52,000.
Wow.
And so it's like, you know, their policies is not working. And, you know, it's simply the teachers union is bowing down to the illegal state, and they're putting the teachers in harm's way.
Right.
You know, so what happens if something happens to the teacher? You know, they're responsible.
Aflac.
You know, so I give actually, you know, again, both the teachers union and the fake state of Hawaii collusion, because they're not looking out for our keikis, they're not looking out for our teachers. They're looking out for themselves.
Homework, Simpson. What's going down with your teachers union?
Well, had plenty homework this summer, but apparently nobody was getting good grades. So, you know, to me, this is just another example of, you know, these Americanized learning environments being imposed upon our people, upon our environment, upon our aina, upon our future. And, you know, we've got 126 years of that, 127 years of that. And we shouldn't be rolling over for any of these kinds of rushes to get us back into the meat grinder. You know what I mean? It's like we got to put all the kids in a classroom, right, which is already not the environment a Hawaiian kid needs to thrive in, right? We need place-based classrooms. We need outdoor learning. We need cultural engagement, right? But you want to lock us in a classroom with all the other sick people from who knows where, right? Muzzled up, 3 feet apart. It's just, I mean, we're setting our kids up, and we're setting our teachers up, frontline workers, right, for a disaster, if you ask me. So, you know, I don't want our kids being guinea pigs for social distancing protocols or COVID-19, whatever, catch and release things they got going on, right? I think we got to take a look at the other issues, too, that they're trying to throw down our throat, right? Vaccines.
Yes.
Right? Like, all the kids got to come back with these vaccines,
It's
too,
mandatory.
right?
That's right.
I mean, shucks.
They passed that.
This is ridiculous, right?
Yes.
So I think we need to expand the 3 foot distancing. We got to go back to the 2 mile distancing, right? Like outside of our borders. You guys got to go 2 miles out. Yeah. And then you can go into maritime law and hang out there. Maybe you get one classroom out on the ocean. But as for the Hawaiian Kingdom, you guys need to stay 2 miles away.
So, what kind of grade? Homework?
Oh, that's F. That's F. I know about a grade right now, but I get the color right there. We're writing in red ink for these guys.
Writing them in red ink.
It's a definite intrusion and
So,
collusion.
Kako, the Teachers Association, right? I'm kind of shocked to put our kids into this predicament where the standards of the WHO says 6 feet, and then you guys want to cut that in half, and then you guys want to have our teachers to be put in this predicament to follow what? the federal criterions or the state issues mandated? Because that's what we're looking at. The federal mandate says 6 feet, but we're looking to the Ige Fernandez shit show, and they want to cut that down into 3. DJ Derbs is correct. What is the injury policy for a teacher if he or she dies from this ruse, I would say, because it's basically ruse, because the federal government already outlined the policy, and for Ige and his cronies to edit it down to half size is definitely scary. And what's even more heart-saddening is that the teachers union didn't push back with the federal requirements. It would have been a simple response to, we cannot put it down to 3 feet because the federal compliance does not allow it. But as you can see, your constitutional oaths have no obligation when it comes to these oath breakers. They can continue to push any agenda, just like Homework said. I'm sorry, Kako, we didn't get to put the vaccination on this week. And that's our bad. Next week, it will be one of our topics, because that is one of the catalysts that highlights the collusion.
Yep.
It highlights the collusion, Kako. Do you think that this was some kind of fluke that the teachers union would support a state of Hawaii government adjustment to a federal law and then come out instantly and pass mandatory vaccination for our kids with a total count of, I believe it was less than 100 or less than, I think it was 20 was in favor, was an overwhelmingly majority of support. In the thousands came out to Aole vaccinations. And if you look at the supporters, they're all crisis actors, government agents. So if you're a government agent out there, please hamau. Don't talk. Just continue to do your paper genocide, because we don't want to hear you guys putting your politics and your personal issues onto our community with this vaccinations and this education guidance that surely shows that this is a federal violation to reduce a 6 feet requirement to 3. And for that, it's a collusion and a smash. DJ Derbs, what is next on this corruption cast?
So 45,212 days continues. And this next issue, 99-year leases, the governor, legislature will be able to issue without resolving the 127-year injustice. That is just mind-blowing, Kako. You got to get active out there, keyboard warriors. We got to keep looking and keep checking, leg kicking these guys, because now they want to get around selling fake title, selling fake crown land title, and now they want to issue 99-year leases. So you see how this government works. They create laws so that it embeds itself as institutional racism and discrimination on our land while stealing our land, giving it to foreign corporations and foreign people. So I just got to give it this 99-year lease, the legislature, a big fat smash. No 99-year leases, everything canceled. Resolve 127 years of injustice immediately, Kako.
Do you want your 99-year lease, KP?
Yeah. I wanted them 30 years ago.
There you go, KP. That's how quick I like your answer. What's your 99-year lease? You told last year you like them, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, it all boils down to the illegal occupation in the fake state. So now they're creating actually laws that goes against the grain of our people, that goes against the grain of our Hawaiian Constitution. And what we need to actually do is push back. We cannot simply let these guys, run amok within our Hawaiian Kingdom. Even though it's an occupied state, we need to push back, and we need to actually voice our concerns against this fake state. So we cannot actually let these people go and try to change rules or laws that are already created. And like even the international lawyers, they said the only legal laws that's actually in Hawaii right now because of the occupation is Hawaiian Kingdom law and international law.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just a continued collusion within the fake state, and also it's not a solution. Sorry, it's a collusion, and they continue to actually work together against the Hawaiian people.
Homework, 99-year homework task. What you want with that, man? 99-year
Sure.
lease of crown lands, your undivided interest.
You know, anytime I see 99,
What does that tell you?
there's almost like a PTSD that goes on with that, right? Hawaiian Homes Commission Act,
Yeah.
44,000 applications, 27,000 waiting, you know. So when I see 99-year leases with the state, I'm like, bro, that's not going to work out no matter what, right? So the PTSD, the flashbacks happen. We got to smash these 99-year leases. You know, no new leases for criminals and thugs and organized crime. Yeah. Stop evicting Hawaiians during this pandemic, during this time, right? Hawaiians are still getting kicked out of their homes, kicked off their kuleana, disconnected from their aina. Yeah. And meanwhile, you guys want to make a new 99-year lease? I don't know any 99-year leases that have worked out for our people. So no more 99-year leases to the thugs. And clear out the Hawaiian Homes Commission Act before you start bringing up the free 99 again.
Yeah. So everybody, Kako, who doesn't like the 99 cents double cheeseburger? Right? Who doesn't want that 99 cents double cheeseburger? Actually comes out to $1.07, but you guys get the idea. I'm pretty sure everybody has $1, right? I'm pretty sure everybody, when you hear this 99 years, everybody instantly, right, KP? You go into your wallet and you bring out your dollar.
Oh, yes. Airport, $99.
Right? You want an airport? It's $99, right? Right? It's that dollar. It's that dollar a year for that 99 years, right? And this is what we're dealing with: is how can you guys go around and give everybody this 99-year lease, right, to the Crown lands, undivided interest, and you get what is her name? Jamie out there in Manokalani Po kicking out cousin Punohu, right? She claims that she owns the house from a sugar plantation who says that they had a 99-year lease, right?
Right.
So you see how they're working it out in Kauai. Kauai supposedly
The
on
red
that
flag,
plantation.
99. Right?
That 99 years is kind of crazy. You know, all of a sudden, you know, you're evicting a Hawaiian, claiming that the house that you're on, which is a plantation house, which sits on a plantation lease for a plantation term of 99 years, and then now you guys want to try and slide it in for a resolution. COVID waits for no corruption, man. Hats off to the state of Heva, who continue to run the 1 yard line down Hunananiho and Fumble, who wants to raid Kanakas during COVID-19 and it's illegal. These people are relentless. Moko Keawe Beneficiary Trust Council had ruled unanimously for over 4 years. No extension leases shall be awarded. No new ones shall ever be leased. And that has been the voice of Moko Keawe beneficiaries and heirs, that we will not allow any new leases to come upon and infringe on our crown lands while our people wait out in the dirt.
Right.
And so,
one more thing too, right? Like you look at these 99-year leases or these 65-year leases, like they like to give from one hand to the other, right? DLNR to the UH or whatever it is. And they don't even pay the dollar.
Right.
they don't even pay the dollar, Kako. And there you have it.
Yeah.
So
They don't even pay the dollar. And if we're wrong, Kako, tell them, send in the receipt from the first time they had the
let's see.
transaction.
Let's see every year.
And
Yeah.
then we just
Let's
want to
get
see that
accounting for
dollar.
the last 99.
We
right?
just want to see that dollar. If
Just
you
want my
guys are
dollar.
out there, Ige and all of these guys who playing around, show us the dollar that you guys have
Show
put
me
down.
the dollar.
Just the dollar. We only like see the
Show
dollar.
me the dollar.
And next up, DJ Derbs on fire, chopping block. The last two or last three. Who can it be?
SR number 159, Senate resolution urging the Native Hawaiian Convention to convene a working group to develop recommendations and strategies to create Hawaiian nationality as a projected class for purposes of Hawaii's anti-discrimination laws. So when you listen to the senators, vote no. is just another genealogical obstruction for Hawaiians to receive some sort of justice, when we do know 127 years of discrimination occurred on the Hawaiian National, and we have the evidence for you guys, Kako. We have 4 years of evidence.
Yeah.
But to hear Senator Keoho Kalole mention the Tsai versus Obama court case and use the term political question
Right.
is just amazing that no justice was served in that vote, Kako. We need justice now. We need senators and legislators that
To tell the truth.
is going to tell the truth about the 127 years of injustice and solve the injustice now. Why are we moving forward without solving the injustice? So I just got to smash the Hawaiian Despair Committee in the legislature and not seeking protection for the Hawaiian nationals on the day, Kako.
Cornerstone. Lay it out.
All right.
National origin.
With the national origin, and they actually voting down to actually look at discrimination against Hawaiians. You know what they're doing is they are actually continue to support the fake state, and they have the knowledge because as one senator actually referred about the Obama versus Tsai case, and now they're using the excuse that it's political. But irregardless, if this is a political question, how about justice? I mean, all around the world, they're talking about injustice to actually seek justice. But when it comes to the Hawaiians, they actually, turn a blind eye. And simply because if they voted for this measure, it would expose the U.S. occupation in Hawaii. Because right now, they're actually standing on the myth that Hawaiian is a race.
Yeah.
And Hawaiian is not a race, it's a nationality. And what they are doing, the fake state, is they're actually going after us and, and kind of like looking the other way when we talk about Hawaiian as a nationality. So we need to actually push back and continue to, voice our concerns because we know who we were.
Yes.
We are Hawaiian nationals, and we are under a U.S. occupation. So, irregardless of what the senator or the fake state is doing, is that we don't care if you try to actually put on lipstick on one pig and tell, oh, this is a blonde. You know what it is? It's just on lipstick on one pig. That's what it is. The bottom line.
Bacon with ketchup.
Yeah, because we're going to catch that pig. You know what? We're going to throw him inside the emu and we're going to kalua that guy.
I like the
Or
I
her.
like the ketchup, the kind lipstick on top of them. It tastes good with bacon.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
But
yeah.
for this national origin. Thank you, KP, for
No, but we just got to give this again and again, is that the fake state is trying to actually, turn one blind eye and, it's like erasing the U.S. occupation. And we cannot let them, do stuff like this. We need to continue to push back and say, hey, we are Hawaiian nationals. We are Hawaiian subjects of the Hawaiian Kingdom.
Homework.
Well,
National origin. I know this affects a lot of people in different ways.
This is really close to home, guys. As you guys know, we've been organizing and pounding the pavement on this issue for at least the last 5-6 years. At the UH and all over the county, the state,
Traveling.
every level. So I'm just really disappointed. Honestly, I'm really, really disappointed in these Hawaiian last names. Yeah, and these Hawaiians, supposed to be Hawaiians, but maybe they just Native Hawaiian American proxies, right? Keoho Kalole, Aue, Favela, Kahele, right? And just to hear your guys' responses to this, right? You guys are just trying to create a mechanism to make us a protected class, like domestically. If you look at international law, we're already protected persons,
Right.
right? So all you guys got to do is follow suit, but you guys can't even do that. You guys can't even protect our rights here at home. So that's just, it's a travesty. It's a shame. You look at the responses, though. Go look it up. Yeah, SR 159. I think Olelo has some of the videos. Mahalo nui to Maile Shimabukuru.
The only?
The
Yes.
only
With
yes
reservations?
vote,
Yes,
right?
but she voted
you know,
yes
she
with
never really
reservation.
fight for him. So
Yeah.
come
Yeah.
on, Miley, you gotta fight for him. You gotta tell these guys why we're actually doing this.
Right.
This isn't the first time we had to put this resolution up. It's gone up for years and years, and it continues to get killed by ignorance and political postulating and maneuvering. So, Kyoho Kalole, the political question, bruh, you the Hawaiian, you need to help recognize Hawaiians and the injustice, period. Quit with the standard Americanized excuses. Yeah, we can pick apart that, you know, everything you said was heavy. Favela, you sound confused. You sound confused. You stay talking about native Hawaiian claims, little n, big N, and how you worried about the non-Hawaiians. You know, take a look at the issues. Educate yourself, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Kaikahele, never say nothing, just voted no. Yeah, I think of the MLK quote, right? Martin Luther King Jr., who says, we don't remember what our friends said, but what they didn't say, right?
Yeah.
The silence
Is
of our
louder.
own friends. So the silence speaks volumes, Kahele. Kyoho Kalole and Favela, you guys gotta do your homework. Stop invisibilizing our issues, marginalizing our struggle, right? And stop showing all of our people that you guys get Stockholm Syndrome. Yeah? We have to move forward. Everywhere is moving forward. The black people in America are moving forward. The Native Americans around Turtle Island, all the indigenous Aboriginal people. We're in a time of reform, of change.
Yes.
And you guys are too afraid to recognize the Hawaiian Nationals' claim? It's pathetic.
It is
So
very.
it makes our struggle harder. I gotta smash these clowns.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it makes my struggle a lot harder, and we'll see what happens.
KP, you wanted to add something?
No, like these characters, you know, they're supposed to be so-called Hawaiians, but actually, they're actually protecting their masters.
Token
You know,
Hawaiian.
and it's really sad.
Token
And just
Hawaiians.
remember, in history, when people read history, they're gonna look at this situation and they say, "Oh wow, these must be American sympathizers, right?" Because they're actually rather defend the occupation, the continual occupation, and not say even one word. And you're supposed to represent the people. What people you're representing? Huh? The illegal fake state. It's what it seems to be. That you're not voicing, you know, injustice of the Hawaiians. What you're doing is that you're already voting no on something that you need to be educated with. So all of you who voted no, you better do your homework.
And so your national origin, Kako, without your national origin, you will not receive the proper due process that you seek as a national, as a citizen, for whatever country you come from. And so this national origin, if you guys remember, Kako, Ige's administration wanted to make Hawaii a safe haven, yeah, where people could come and be classified, and this is a safe zone for the world to come and be safe. But as Hawaiian nationals, we are not safe. So that tells you, Kako, that this illusion of aloha that people want to use in aina aloha, aloha, love, right? Aloha each other, the tourism. These things are at the crux of it. Our national origin is being attacked. We can't even be ourselves. We have to be something that the colonizer wants. And that's what we cannot have. We cannot be having Kovaipai Aina be a safe zone for the world to come and free and feel safe and aloha. But the people of aloha is not here to give that aloha.
Right. They're canceling out the aloha.
They're canceling out this aloha. And it's almost to a degree where we just got to continue to smash. We got to continue to smash this because the national origin, the university denied us the national origin. Right. And we was able to get the flags accounted for because of our national origin.
Right. At least a symbol. Right.
We can rent books from our library with our national origin IDs statewide. We have a national declaration at the universities that discriminates on our national origin and reclassifies us with religion. right? So we have all of these things accumulated, and this is all because it all has to do with our being. That's why we have to smash on Kurt Kuvela guys and any senator who has failed to read the purpose
Hawaiian
of.
Caucus. You guys are supposed to be the Hawaiians representing us over
And
there.
not only that, the
It's just showing
purpose,
how
the purpose in
confused you
Hawaiian
are.
Homes Commission Act, Section 101, nothing shall construed to have any effect on the descendants of the Kingdom of Hawaii.
Right.
And you guys need to read that Constitution and that obligation that has been breached for 100 years.
Yeah.
We don't ask for much, but we will demand you guys lose your stupidity and stop putting your stupidity over our families and our national origin.
Great.
We would never be able to move forward if these sick people continuously say that they're not sick.
Right.
The first way to address it is to say we are not sick. But it's sick people like this who claim that we are confused. I don't think so, Kako. You guys have showed me more than what these senators have failed to say.
I just wanted to say one more thing too, yeah. I mean, even if they don't recognize us as Hawaiian nationals, Hawaiian subjects, yeah, heirs of the Hawaiian Kingdom, ko Hawaii pai aina, which we are. That's who we are. We recognize each other, yeah. So we take it to the streets, we take it to the bush, we take it to the mauna. But the Palapala, right, the fake state Palapala is still trying to leave us out, right? No aloha for Hawaiian nationals. But if you go look at the state the federal government and their websites, their laws, yeah, they're supposed to protect our rights to statelessness.
Yes,
They're supposed to protect our rights to our own national origin.
Yes.
So even if they don't recognize us, they're supposed to recognize the fact that we have the right to decide for ourselves. Right now, they're not even doing that. They're just throwing us in the meat grinder and making hamburger.
So, Kako, if you're out there, hold your senators accountable, educate them.
Educate these guys.
Because you know what? Once you educate them, they cannot say they wasn't aware. DJ Derbs, next up on the chopping block, DJ.
Royal Patent 7627, Land Commission Award, Nomilu, Bureau of Conveyance has sufficient evidence and documentation through our land titles to resolve majority of our problems. We wouldn't have a problem if the Royal Patent and Land Commission Award citizen, who is the Hawaiian Kingdom national, who is the Hawaiian Kingdom citizen, was recognized, yet they base all of the illegal land title transactions off of the Hawaiian Kingdom. So it's black and white, Kako. All you need to do is look at the documents in the Bureau of Conveyance. And so I got a smash on the non-protection of the Hawaiian national origin. And I got a pass on the kupuna
Yes.
that created the Mahele and the Land Commission Awards and the Royal Patents and Kuleana titles
Nana ike kumu.
as the foundation and the basis for our justice.
Cornerstone.
We need-
Nomilu Fish Pond.
Okay,
Keohua.
the bottom line is we have actually laws in place. We have, like the, all the different royal patents, all this is all in place. So we need to stand on that and continue to stand on, all of the palapala that was created during the time of the Hawaiian Kingdom. And the only challenges we have right now is when you have the fake state is actually looking the other way, and they want to actually support, this newly created documents on land titles. Our land titles are pa'a,
Yes.
not theirs.
Yes.
They had to create defective land titles, and it's the concern is that they don't want to recognize the legal documents.
Yes.
So I have to give the state of Hawaii a smash, and I'll give our kupuna, who established the mahele and other documents, a great big pass.
Homework seems to be the only thing we can do.
Yep, more homework needed. Mahalo nui to the Ohanas out there. You know, we're going to see more and more Ohana who have to do this. And so we need to make it a point to actually spread this information, to spread this education, the awareness of what's going on, right? When the videos start happening, we need to post that. We need to stop posting Donald Trump and, you know, all these Americanized issues over here. We need to get back to our Hawaiian grassroots issues affecting the Kanaka, who cannot be heard, who cannot be recognized by the injustice and the fake state. So, Nomilu, Kekaha, you know, Pe'ahi, you know, all these land issues are coming to a forefront. So let's get behind these Ohanas, 100%, see what we could do to spread that message, to spotlight the injustice, right? And like like Anakala said, right, the cornerstone, our contract is pa'a. Our contract is pa'a, yeah. Our land titles, our genealogy is pa'a. Nana ike kumu. Nana ike kumu ku'ai. Nana ike kumu kanavai. Right, look to the source of the laws in these lands. We never did break our contract. Not with nobody. Not with the Americans. Not with Akua. Right, and that's where the shame comes from all these other Christian nations out there. They broke their contract with Akua. We never did. We still connected to the Aina, to the source, to the contract with the kingdom. Malalo konamalu. Yeah. So mahalo to the kupuna and to the makua out there holding the line. And to the Ohanas out in Nomilu, we see you guys. And we want to learn more and share more of this injustice.
Kako, Anakala Max Madaris, Hale O Keoua. The house of Keoua, house of Keawe, Ikekai, house of Keawe. If you guys know Uncle out there in Kauai, Anakala Max Madaris, go ahead and check him out. Awesome Hawaiian, awesome national. Shout out to Bor, Keliua, stepping up with and for the House of Keoua and the families down in Nomilu. This is what we're talking about, Kako. Kanaka standing up for each other. Yeah. Reach out to Uncle Max today, Kako. Go ahead and ask that story. You guys will be shocked, man. Ha'alo, our tutu man, Ha'alo is out there. Keoua is out there. His EVs, their EVs are still there.
Right, we're protecting.
It's like chicken skin, man. When we talk about these people that you read in your books,
kuleana. It's real kuleana.
The things that we read in books is some things that people are living to right now, real life, real time. Yeah, and Uncle Max, guys, is one of them. Check out Na'au News now. The 2 of 2 articles that we post up. We post up Land Commission Awards. We post up Royal Patents. We post up the EV report to where the EVs are located. We even throw out the historical documentations of these contracts. And that is our obligation to you, Kako, is to bring forth this kind of news that has this kind of real impact on our national origins and our original documents that date back previously to our Kumu Kanavai, Kako. Remember, when these people are selling lands, they're redescribing it in TMKs. They're getting it resurveyed so they can illegally manage to take our properties away from us. Yeah, and that's where our concern comes in with Anakala Max Madaris and the Keoua family, Bor Keliua out on the other ends, Punohu on Crown lands. This thing is a wildfire, Kako. If you don't believe me, you better ask somebody, man, because we know that the gig is up. And when we see our Kia'is going out there and just speaking the truth of the matter of fact, we would think that something that is state issued. Go ahead and listen to Uncle Max's story, man. He tells the people off. Uncle Max is a legend. He tells them to stop lying. They can't lie. Then they tell him they sorry, Uncle. Uncle Max was all over these crisis actors, man. These people, when they get confronted or get caught, because you got to remember, Kako, they don't announce when they're going to do these things. They just show up. And it's your job to show up at the job site and get the job recorded and done. Because these people are relentless during COVID-19 to rip apart Land Commission Award already certified issues that has been doing this. Yeah, They've been doing this for, I think, over a decade already. It's already been identified. And I wanted to turn it straight to the one and only Suzanne, the absolute corrupt case ever. Why McBride Sugar Company, which Ed Case, Suzanne Case, and their forefathers are legal attorneys for the sugar plantations prior to these issues being addressed to today. McBride, yes, all these sugar companies, Uncle Kemoku Kapu, the sugar mills that are selling these kuleanas out to these private contractors and whatnot. This is what we must stop, yeah? We must stop these crisis actors filing for these properties and having these corrupt lawyers who date back to the sugar plantation, McBride, and the Suzanne cases. This is the story we need to remember. Not, oh, DLNR just when go down there, take Uncle off his land. Who runs the DLNR? Right. Who pulls the strings? Who actually got the message to go forward? Because if you listen to Uncle Max's tape, he says, how did this move forward? And then the supervisor says, it was a shot from up top to the bottom. So if it ain't Akua sending it down, then you know it's Suzanne, absolute corrupt case.
The cat in the hat.
The cat in the hat.
Right.
So know your enemies, know thy neighbors, and make sure to call them out as we continue to smash on this case anytime we see this case.
Mo'okuauhau matters, right?
Mo'okuauhau.
We got to look at the genealogy of these things, the laws, the corrupt people in place, in power, right? And then your own genealogy, right?
Kumu kanavai.
There we go.
Pass.
Give them the green pass with the red book.
The pass. Kumu kanavai. Next up, DJ Dirge wrapping it up.
Because we're on the case of the case of the case's case. What about the Massey case?
Oh.
So
Yes.
headlines, Civil Beat. HPD chief says there's less racial bias in Hawaii. She's wrong.
Yeah.
HPD data says Black, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander communities experience force at the hands of police at higher rates than white and Asian communities. She is wrong. Listen to this quote, Kako. There is a history of race discrimination in policing and in the judicial system in Hawaii, starting with the Massey case, Kako. Joseph Kahavai was murdered because of this racial discrimination that's continuing. But I'm going to say from 127 years ago, July 4th, 1894, on this day when treasonous Supreme Court Judge Sanford B. Dole is known as the founder of the state of Hawaii. When you go into the governor's office, there's a big fat picture with him as the founder of this government, and he is the epitome of racial discrimination, institutional racism, and attacks on Hawaiians daily. So I just gotta give this Chief Ballard, you know, he gave her the pass the other time, but you gotta be consistent, Kako. And if you're not consistent, you get a smash from DJ Derb. So HPD Ballard, trying to ignore the 127 years of discrimination, gets a smash from DJ Derbs this week.
Fix her ahu up.
First of all,
slightly off.
yeah. First of all, I don't know where the police chief is living in.
Yeah, where's she from?
You know, the thing, I don't know, maybe she's living on a reality show. But, you know, the truth of the matter is this discrimination started in January 17th, 1893. And you look at a few years after when they actually banned the Hawaiian language. You know, and then you look at all this case, you know, even with the Macy case, right? Because this officer's wife couldn't keep her clothes on. Then she want to turn around and say, let's blame the Hawaiian.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's discrimination.
Right.
You know, and, you know, what's really sad about it is that someone died. And what the governor did to actually resolve this issue, you know what? Come to the palace and drink tea with me for an hour. And you know what? Everything's good. That's discrimination.
Unreal.
Racism. And it continues to today. So for this police chief to say there's no discrimination, I don't know. Maybe she's looking some elsewhere.
Yeah.
But discrimination is all around in Hawaii.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? You know, just look at the occupation and the fake states and their relationship to the Hawaiian subjects. It's all discrimination. Going against, you know, land deeds. Going against a lot of stuff that they don't even follow. They don't even follow their own laws. You know, this fake state is that they create laws, but it's an option. We can either follow law or we're not going to follow law. And that's the way it is right now. So we need to push back and say, hey, you know, if you're supposed to be the so-called state of Hawaii and you have laws, well, follow the laws. And you know what? Don't make up, bedtime stories like, oh, there's no discrimination, because there is. So I give the police chief a smash.
Review homework for these characters
Well, you
about
know,
this inconsistent message.
you have to look no further than the actual, like the headline right here, right? HPD's own data says that we're experiencing force at the hands of police at higher rates. So, I mean, just look at the data, right? Look to the source here. We're on the top of all the worst lists, right? We're at the bottom of all the best lists. That's Kanaka Maoli in Hawaii, in the Hawaiian Islands, in the Hawaiian Kingdom, right? So, Susan Ballard, I don't know where you're from, but I can tell you're out of touch, and that you're probably just a mouthpiece for what the state wants you to say, but you don't represent our concerns. You know, I know police are concerned about these issues. Hawaiian policemen, right? We interface with them here locally. We have to work with them. We have to know each other, because there's real crime out there, right? So let's not pretend like nothing's wrong, guys, right? Starting at the top, right? While the Sunshine Law is being violated, while all these things are happening in secrecy, yeah? And we got decades of that to still look through with the Kealohas, right? And how they were used in that capacity. But now you have a white female head of chief saying, oh, there's no problems against Hawaiians. Come on. I gotta say, that's a collusion, intrusion, illusion, and a smash.
Yep. Ah, man. So if you go look at the Civil Beat reports, right, a lot of, so in one study, he found the University of Hawaii Richardson Law School, right? In one study, he found participants who were Hawaii residents had far more anti-Micronesian bias compared with non-Hawaiian residents, anti-blackness in the present here too. So what we're reading from this is, we see a lot of these crimes where, not crimes, but people say, you know, bullying, Micronesian, being incompassionate to Black Lives Matter. But we're not in America. We're not in Micronesia.
Right.
We are in Ko Hawaii Pai Aina.
Aye.
And so when people are telling you there's other people getting violated, no. Those are the people you guys are seeing here for. You guys are not seeing the Massey case.
Yeah,
You guys are not seeing elders being shot
Nope.
down in Waikiki while somebody's drunk on duty with a loaded gun. Officer Didi. You guys don't see us like that.
Yep.
You guys only want to see all these other,
Professional criminals,
like
bro.
Republika,
Professionals.
when they bring in all of these foreign immigrants to do contract workers, and then they have more rights than us now.
Right.
They have more say to the lands that they are on now. They have a contract from the sugar plantation that we should honor, right? But there's nothing to honor our sacred lives of Ko Hawaii Pai Aina and the Hawaiian nationals. This is a reflection of national origin discrimination. Yeah? Our focus today is national origin discrimination. How throughout this sequence of updates and news articles, we simply show you the root of the issue. We cannot say, oh, we have shitty healthcare. Why do we have bad healthcare?
Yep.
We cannot say, oh, we're homeless or houseless. Why are we homeless and houseless?
Yep.
It's because of the illegal injustice.
Yep.
You guys are not going to be pointing this and force feeding our families this this false narrative of, you know, we're drug rehabilitating people. Oh, the land is too expensive. No, you guys have forcibly kicked off our Kuleana award holders. You guys have falsely labeled those awards in TMKs.
Yep.
You have falsely identified our Hawaiian nationals in our national origin, and you guys continue to treat us as if we are any other race, but not the true inhabitants of Ko'awai'i Aina.
Stop defrauding Hawaii and Hawaiians.
If you guys were to say the truth, because the truth is the essence of all life and aloha, you guys would be able to talk about the injustice and help lift our community out of this identity fraud that the state has confused even our senators to make them look at small n, little n, and they're confused.
Stop playing the PR game.
Small n, little n, and they are confused already. So our people have suffered from the national origin discrimination, and we won't have none of that no more, not on our time, at any time, Miss Ballard, and your guys' weak research of how you guys are going to single us out and say that we are lesser than these other family members that are coming over to our island and experiencing the genocide in a smaller quantum as we are suffering from the Massey case and still the untimely death of elders. So there you guys go, Kako. And our last but not least topic for the Smasher Pass, DJ Derbs.
Community update meeting at the Panaeva Farmers Market on Railroad Avenue in Hilo this past Sunday. Moderator Wally Ishibashi. You gotta check it out, Kako. You gotta
check it out.
All of the testimony and the newly introduced kidnapping attempts that some of the uncles shared that day. And mahalo for all of the government officials and mayoral candidates who showed up to witness the testimony of the Vahines and the Kanes who experienced this type of criminal act of attempting to steal our keikis.
Or even sizing them up.
I just gotta say, smash on the current system for not resolving this, because Tulsi Gabbard brought it up in 2016. Now it's 2020 and it's still continuing. We need to resolve this immediately. And I guarantee you, if we resolve 127 years of injustice, this will just disappear like a lot of other injustices that we experience, Kako.
KP, Cornerstone, follow-up meeting for our keikis.
Well, first of all, you know, I just want to recognize the people who actually did this important meeting about, you know, sex trafficking and child abduction. And, you know, what I need to say is that, you know, you have to do your homework before you open your mouth, because some people over there, they got their foot in their mouth by saying that, oh, some of this allegation is, you know, it's like made up and everything. It's not made up. Yeah. And don't say that, oh no, a majority of the victims are runaways. Yeah. They're not runaways. You had actually people over there talking firsthand about what they had to go through, what they entailed. So, you know, we at Hawaiian Kingdom News Now, we do our homework. We're not going to be putting out false information about this serious, topic. And, you know, we need to actually continue to voice our concerns, especially when you're talking about child abduction and, you know, sex trafficking. And so all of this so-called government officials, you know, you need to actually step it up and don't look the other way and claim, you know, something else is going on. Yeah. Because it's right in your, you know, it's right in your backyard, and you need to do something about it. Because, you know, for those of you who are going to run for, the county seats or whatever, you better be doing your job and not just, you know, looking for a new employment.
Yes.
So I give, you know, the meeting a great big pass.
Yes.
And for the so-called bad actors of the fake state, a smash, because you need to do your homework.
Homework.
Ooh, yeah, well, I wish I was there to hear what was said at the meeting, but mahalo nui for documenting. And really, I think that's my take home from this is that we have to document. We have to catch each other's backs. It's up to us in our communities to become the leaders and the support system for each other during these times, especially. We cannot rely on crisis actors and PR professionals and figureheads to address the reality that we're dealing with here, because they will spin it every other way, whether it's because tourism is looming in the back or they want to reopen the airports or the schools or whatever. They want to go back to normal. There is no going back to normal. If we're going to go back to normal, let's go back to the Hawaiian Kingdom. Let's go back to the
normal.
Aina. There we go.
That's very normal.
That's supernatural. That's normal, baby.
Yeah.
That's the normal that we need to return to, not in giving passes to these guys who continue to be talking heads for what the state wants them to say. There's a real issue in your community. Step up, be there, and address it. Reform the policy, move forward. Don't give excuses. So I gotta smash that.
Okay.
And then I'll pass this over for the last bit we got here, right?
Kako, quick recap. Mahalo to all the people that came out. Mahalo to the victims who speak up. And this is for those who don't believe the victims. You guys sit down and shut up. No, seriously.
Hamau.
This was Hamau.
Yeah.
This was the conversation of the recap. Don't victimize the victims. Allow a safe space, and don't have that negativity towards them. For those family members who came out and talked, we mahalo you, Anakala, Anake, Kelave, who came out and talked. Powerful speech. We just would like to say once again, 2014 or 16, you guys can check it out. Tulsi Gabbard did come down to the University of Hilo to talk about International Women's Week of Human Sex Trafficking. That's what we're hoping to bring back. So to follow up from it, we're trying to get a hold of Tulsi Gabbard to get back this presentation, and we're going to be putting together a series of meetings for Malamaina Keiki. We will try to shoot for once a month. We'll keep you guys posted, but we want this not as a fad. This is a kuleana that has been on our visual lines since 2016. Well, right now, as fathers now, we have an obligation to step up and try to hold as much meetings as we can, once a month at least, to update. And if there's descriptions or any other people who want to come forward and speak in a safe zone, we want to be here for you. So stay awake, Kako. Be aware of your surroundings. We will be looking at some other dates, and we will keep you guys posted, because this meeting was so impactful that we even got Mitch Roth to admit that we have a problem. Because people prior to our meeting was saying that there is nothing, that it was a hype, that this individual's post. No, we had to refocus everyone to 2016, and that the international community is already up in arms that has an International Protection Week for women's internationally. So we need to wake up, Kako. We need to be the forefathers of this for our keikis. We need to stand up for our women, and we need to do this in a consistent manner. And so now you have the state of Hawaii admitting, go ahead and check out the feed, that we do have a problem, Kako. So when the government says they have a problem, it's our duty to make sure you have another meeting so we can talk about solution. And with that being said, I give that one big solution for the kupuna and the officials who came out to talk about it.
Making them look good.
The victims who came out and talked about it. From our hearts to yours, we have learned more than what we have bargained for in that 2 hours. With that being said, mahalo. Next two up is what? Our constitutional oath breakers and our makahana kaike. Our homework. DJ Derbs. Constitutional oath breaker. Let's hear it for you.
The one and the only, the legendary constitutional oath breaker of all constitutional oath breakers on this day, July 4th, 1894.
Here it is.
Supreme Court Justice, President of the Republic of Hawaii, President of the Territory of Hawaii, none other than Sanford B. Dole. Take his photos, paintings, statues down, kako. He is the epitome of institutional racism, discrimination, and epitome of breaking constitutions, namely the Hawaiian Kingdom, Republic of Hawaii, United States Constitution, all the constitutions, kako. That's my constitutional oath breaker for today on this day, kako.
Cornerstone. Who you got, Shiny?
I have to agree with DJ Derbs.
Oh, they look like it was on hard one for come out.
Hey, what can I say? I mean, Dole is actually, he was, the biggest issue.
Yeah.
He created the U.S. occupation.
Yes.
And he continued to disrupt lives within the Hawaiian Kingdom and also the lives of the Hawaiian subjects.
Constitutional breaker, gotta be this guy.
Oh, yeah. And he, even if he's dead for over 100 years, there's still an impact, a negative impact. And we need to actually erase that history. And by erasing the history, is we need to take him out.
There you go. Take him out.
Yeah. So I give...
And we're still giving smashes.
So I give Dole a big smash.
Homework. Who you gonna give your love to? Homework. Give your love letter.
I gotta stick with the Dole, right?
The Dole plantation.
all these fake state government officials and crisis actors still on the Dole, right? They're still on the Dole. They're still collecting.
Oh, yeah. Still on the Dole.
The Dole of the Doles.
The Dole man, right?
The Dole man.
I just
stick to it, man.
This smash on the Dole.
Okay.
The guy who broke all those constitutions, the Hawaiian Kingdom, international, U.S., his own probably PG, Republika. But I also want to point out that Hawaiian pizza is not Hawaiian.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not.
Just because you get pineapple on top, you should call them treasonous pizza.
Right.
Right? So that's my mana'o for the day.
I like that. You see that? There's no Hawaiian pizza because you get pepperoni, and the pig doesn't turn after you put ketchup lipstick on him.
Right.
No turn, you know?
So treasonous pizza, not Hawaiian pizza.
Oh, man. So I'm going to stick with the trend. The trend has to be Dole. And because of Dole, we suffer from our national origin genocide.
Right.
And so with that being said, shiny one goes to this colonizer,
Yeah.
Dole.
The top of the white hat right there.
Next one up, our Makahana Kaike, guys. What do we have for our family today? This week, must do, must see, must engage.
July 9th,
Yes.
Office of Hawaiian
Yes.
Affairs.
Yes.
Candidates will be speaking, and there is one candidate that's going to fight for 127 years of injustice, Kako. So spread the word.
Yes.
Vote to resolve the 127 years of injustice, 127 years of illegal occupation, 45,212 days of continued attacks on Hawaiians. That's who we need in the Office of Hawaiian Despair. Not anything else but resolving this injustice. So that's the Makahana Kaike coming up this week.
Cornerstone. What you want the Keikis to do for this week's assignments?
I just want to add that, if you're going to go out and vote, you need to know each individual's platform.
Yeah.
No go vote because, it's my brother, my auntie, or my cousin, or my friend. You need to ask them the hard questions about injustice. Do you stand on on injustice for the Hawaiians? Do you stand that this is a U.S. occupation? And how are you going to actually address these issues? Because if you cannot answer, these questions, these people are just American sympathizers. Yep. They're going to continue to support the occupation. They're going to continue to support the fake state. So you need to do your homework, okay? So whether you're going to vote, for OHA or the fake state, elections, you need to ask them the hard questions because you don't want to be complicit to aiding these people who are going to aid the fake state. So
there it is.
that's my
Makahana
Yeah,
Kaike Cornerstone.
Yes.
Do your homework. Make sure you get the right injustice checkbox.
Right.
Homework. What you want to tell these?
Looks like you guys already beat me to the punch, but you know, I want you. I think I want everybody out there to go take a look at what's happening all over the world. Yeah, and in relation to what's happening here at home, the injustice that we face here at home, how all over the world, in Turtle Island in America, the Aboriginal indigenous people are rising up. Yeah, and so the hashtag land back, right, is one of those viral kind of like points. Land back, hashtag land back. For us over here, that's all we want. We want our land back. That's the only way we can resolve the injustice and reconcile all of the problems that we have here in Hawaii. We want our land back. So shout out to all the Kua Aina, the land backers out there on their Aina, the Kuleana patent and royal patent holders. Just those keeping their practice and keeping their connection to the Aina. E hoi hoi kako ika Aina, yeah. La hoi hoi ea coming up at the end of this month. So let's celebrate and commemorate and cultivate all month long, right? All year long until justice, until we can taste the bitter waters of justice on our tongue. So let's get our land back. Kua Ainas, come together. Let's hold it down. And e hoi hoi ke ea ka Aina.
Makahana Kaike. Makahana Kaike. Just like DJ Derb said, OHA candidacy platform. Go ahead and check it out. And if you have a candidate, I know we've been getting blown up. You know, they want us to put their message on our platform. This is the profile, Kako, because we cannot answer 150 of those. Speak of injustice, talk about the illegal occupation, and we are obligated to put your picture on our broadcast. So if you guys can do it, like DJ Derbs, and
no American milk over here.
And even Mikey putting up that Hawaiian Kingdom muscle, you know, those things people may not like, but we, as the Hawaiian Kingdom News, have an obligation for our homework to you guys. Our assignment to be completed from you guys is, if you guys tell us about the injustice, we will make sure your platform is being reached.
And additionally, on this day, July 4th, Kako, talk to your family, go to these celebrations, and educate them about the injustice and the founding of the injustice on this day. Don't let these posts go up thinking that it's okay to celebrate the injustice of the Hawaiian Kingdom on this 4th of July celebration. We need you, Kako, to help educate everyone. It's not just us, Kako, but you guys all out there listening has a kuleana to share the truthful information so that we can return to justice on this day of founding of the injustice by Sanford B. Dole, Kako.
Hey, Rapid Aloha, KP.
Rapid Aloha. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Kanaka Kava. You can find them at the Coconut Grove, or you could also contact them at Facebook. Yeah, Facebook or Instagram. So go and check out Kanaka Kava.
Homework. Rapid Aloha.
Yeah, go get you some ava. Go get rooted, right? We have to start manifesting and alchemizing, you know, returning to our source, right? So Ava can help with that. I want to shout out Brother Punahele. Yeah, and his album right here.
Punahele.
The Menehune Giant. Oh, baby. This bugger is a banger. Go download Brother's music.
Support local music.
Support Brother Punahele 695 on the west side. And all the people out there, the artists, the musicians that aren't hiding and romanticizing our experience and our struggle here. Yes. Yeah, but giving life and giving voice and mana to those of us who are still fighting and still struggling and still striving for our country here.
DJ Derbs.
Rapid Aloha, Kako. Everyone who engages someone who buys into this indoctrinated fake state holiday of July 4th is my Rapid Aloha person today. So rapid aloha to all of you keyboard warriors out there, all of you Kanaka out there, educating everyone about the founding of the illegality on this day, July 4th, 1894. You are my rapid aloha. Oko.
Mine's just changed it too.
Hey, some of them been banging since the internet came out, you know.
yeah.
So shout out to all you longtime keyboard kupuna warriors out there. Yeah, showing us the way to do it in the digital age.
Rapid mahalo to, yes, rapid mahalo to all you kia'is out there inspiring us to be inspired. Without you guys showing us the news and giving us the insight, there basically wouldn't have that much substance to be had. And with that being said, my aloha always goes out to our national origin Kanakas who continuously get violated in this occupation, but continuously being resilient and continuing to step back up. Punohu, Uncle Keamoku Kapu, Maliko Gulch, King's Landing, all of those families, all of those mana'os, this aloha is for you. Anything else before we wrap it up? The national crisis?
One special shout out to Auntie Moani Keala Kaka. Today is her birthday, July 4th. This is the only reason we celebrate them.
Au oli lahanau, manawahine,
Mahalo nui, Anake.
tutu lady,
We love you.
anake,
Showing us.
moani. Where's the money?
Passing us the
Akaka.
fire. Oh!
Where's Auntie Moani? Where's the money? Akaka scolding everybody
There we
and giving
go.
us the foresight.
I know you still feel the heat, guys.
I
know
still
you
feel the
feel
heat,
that
man.
heat.
We love you, Auntie.
Love you.
We love you. National crisis?
Well, I just want to thank each and every one of you who actually tune in every Saturday to watch the Hawaiian Kingdom news. And as we move on, we just want to expose the dark side of Hawaiian politics. So, you know, again, mahalo for each and every one of you folks to actually tune in and watch our podcast. Mahalo.
DJ Derbs, any last love? Ku aloha aina.
Aloha aina. Hui aloha aina. Don't mix it up.
Don't mix it up.
Oh,
Mix it
yeah.
up.
Don't get confused.
Don't get confused. Don't flip the words around. It's hui aloha aina.
Don't mix the slug with the ava.
Hey.
Don't mix the slug with the ava. Aloha kako. Till the next time, Dark Side of Hawaiian Politics.
Fucking criminal, nah, just a Kanaka trying to survive in a living world. Unloving, breathing, touching, squeezing, cardiovascular system, pumping, beating till the life force is depleted. But they can't take our mana, the power that's embedded in our DNA and cultivated through our hana, kuleana. Life's work, honor the past and the ancient ones, so the next generation still taste it on their native tongues. The bitter water for all my ohana and kinfolk. My knuckles, all my peoples locked up in them pinholes, them CCs.